Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Expert Dialogue podcast by Precious Kalu. And today we are going to talk about something very important and it literally relates to our fitness, our mental, physical, and everything how to lose weight. Well, there was a day I saw this amazing woman right here, and I read something from her profile, and it said, lose weight without working out. I was like, how? Like how? Like I don't have to lose weight. I don't have to go to the gym or which one. So today you're gonna hear from her as she talks about those things. At some point I was like, well, thank God I'm not fat. But at the same time, I need to keep fit. And so every one of us, we are gonna learn from her today. And stay tuned to the end of this session. Do not skip. And don't forget to share with your friends, with your colleagues, and everyone else. So she's no other person than Bbira Kafumbe. Thank you so much, Queen, for joining. How are you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Uh, I'm calling out of DC, 4 p.m. here, and I'm happy to be here as we enjoy Labor Day weekend. So I'll just do a little intro about myself. My name is Bbira Kafumbe with Body by Bira, and I actually started off my journey as a pain, as a struggle. I have three kids,
Wow.
16, 12, and 7. And I'm originally from Uganda, that's East Africa, and I came to the US about 17 years ago. So a young career woman, and then shortly after, got married, having babies. I'm navigating my career path. I was doing an evening MBA, and I'm saying all these things. I'll share with you down the line what that means for weight loss. But I gained a significant amount of weight when I came to the US because the food portions were bigger, the food was tastier. Coming from my, local foods, it was such an experience for me, but I started to see myself start to, add a little bit. Weight takes time, right? And then by the time you realize it, it's like, okay, everyone is telling you about it. But when I started having kids, it even got more complex. So I used to always be thin. I never cared about what I ate. But with my first, I gained 50 pounds, which is about 25 kgs. Then
Wow.
my second, I gained 30, about another 30 pounds. And after that is when, after a doctor visit, my doctor diagnosed me as obese and wanted to put me on high blood pressure medication. And I remember just refusing. I was like, no way,
Nah.
I'm going on medication. And that really started my journey. I was like, I'm going to fight this. And of course, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm going to work out. I'm going to work out hard. I'm going to burn this, burn this fat. And I had a personal trainer, and I used to meet him thrice a week. He would work me hard. After 2 months, I had lost just about 3 pounds. And I was like, no, it was so frustrating. I actually fired him thinking he's the one, not training me right. And I started to take more interest in the successful weight loss stories and what are people doing. And I noticed a common theme with nutrition. And that is a part I hadn't focused on. And when I sit back and realize now, every after training session I had with my personal trainer, I was eating more calories than I was burning, right?
Wow.
And our African food is very heavy in carbs, very heavy in sauces, right?
Everything.
Everything stew. And if the stew is finished, you add more food. Or if the food is about to be literally, it's always adding more calories, right? And so I, for about just 3 months, I decided to really take some time into my plate to understand the food and started to seeing changes on my body. And when I realized that the gift or the main impact mover was the plate, and I had
Wow.
ignored that for over 6 years of my life of trying to lose weight. Or it's like I don't have a gym membership. I am trying to go to the gym and I don't have time. I hear that a lot. And a lot of us, even me who goes to the gym, I use the gym a lot for mental release. There are some people we see from January to December, they are the same weight, or they have even gained, or they're not even losing. And that always tells me their food, is not right. They're not changing anything there. They leave the gym and eat that burger because you sweated. And so many people overestimate how much they burn because you're seeing sweat. But I'll just
Mm-hmm.
give you an idea why I say you can lose weight without working out. It's because 80% of weight loss is nutrition. And
Wow.
I used to be a runner, and if I ran 30 minutes, let me say, it would be about 400 calories. So it takes 3,500 calories to burn 1 pound, which is about half a kg. It means you'd have to run every day.
Wow.
And running is pretty intense, right? To burn just 1 pound, that's not achievable. So that is why your plate is so important. And most times people go to the gym and maybe in a day they may burn 200 or 300 or less. And then they're coming out and then they're eating, you know, fufu plus some sauce, and then they're wondering why you're not losing weight. Fufu is about just 700 calories, then you add more sauce, then you're adding a drink, juice. And so those are the things that are really keeping you frustrated with your weight. And I'll get into other things, but food is so key. And it cost me 6 years of my life. So in 2012, I lost 40 pounds in 6 months after really diligently looking at my food. And then from then, I've never looked back. It's been 10 years, over 10 years now. I've kept off the weight, and I've worked with over 150 women to lose weight and, most importantly, keep it off. And I'll get into why I keep saying keep it off. Because some people have tried so many weight loss programs and they just lose an eye. They lose an eye. They're always in that cycle.
Yeah.
So,
Wow. Like I've really heard people say that when they reduce their food intake and they lose weight, like is it possible for someone to reduce food intake but not diet intake because they are two different things?
so I usually look at it like, look at food like you're going to the bank, right? What are you putting in your body is going to make you full for longer, because
Mm-hmm.
you could still eat a lot of food, but a lot of healthy food that's going to keep you full for longer. Meaning, if I had one meal at breakfast, I probably will feel hungry again about three, because the food I ate still feeling me in my body. However, it doesn't mean that because you are on a healthy diet or a healthy lifestyle, you skip the cakes. You still, once in a while you could still have that cake, and that is what people just think. Oh my God, eating healthy is boring. I have kids, right? I mentioned I have two teenagers and one 7-year-old, and I eat the same way my kids eat. So you don't have to be eating grass, meaning salads only. You don't have to be. You can still eat things like chicken. You can still eat. There's so many ways you can make weight loss fun, right? By being
Yeah.
creative. Yeah. So that is important, because if you don't enjoy it, you will not sustain it.
Wow.
If you feel like, oh my God, this food is boring. Oh my God, I have to eat the salad. Trust me, you go back to the fufu and all the. You also have something called ugali and all the other, the foods that you are more comfortable for you. Yeah.
Like it's actually like being intentional about it and just embracing um the whole process just to like get the result, and at the end of the day like it becomes a lifestyle, then you keep it up, like just continue the whole thing. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And for
Like
you, yeah, I know,
yeah.
Precious, you haven't had kids yet, but this work even becomes more important when you have children. I'm looking at a lot of children that are obese. And these are
Mm,
children like at 9, 10, they already have bellies. They're panting while they're walking. What's going to happen at 15, right?
wow.
Some of us started experiencing these things later in life when we had children, but because we didn't grow up in such a westernized economy where we're thinking burgers and fries is that's the in thing, to go to KFC every weekend. But you're setting up your kids for failure. I can tell you that, because I'm emulating you. So as parents or mothers, because most times we have the hand in the kitchen, it's very important for you to do this work, because I can tell you my kids by default are living a healthy lifestyle. How we eat is how our kids will eat and how their generational kids will eat. And that's why people blame the
Yes.
gene, but it's the eating habits that you're transferring from generation to generation. So I
Yes.
just wanted to highlight that. Yeah.
I feel like the gene aspect is really like one of the most common things people use. And I feel like, okay, if maybe you have a gene that is that you have that big body kind of thing, is it possible to break it? Like, can you still break it, or is permanent?
I think it's two things. I can see big bone and big body density, right? All that. But I think people use genes as an excuse. I come
Mm-hmm.
from a predominantly high blood pressure, high
Yeah.
cholesterol family. I could tell you more than three-quarters of my relatives are, have high blood pressure, have high cholesterol. They're battling these lifestyle diseases, but I knew I had to do different because if I continued that path, no brainer, I would end up in the same direction. So it's you can still be born big bone and all that and still lose weight. There's nothing like, oh, my genes
Mm.
are so rigid with the weight they can't. I have even women who come to me 59, over 50, and they're still losing weight. So this gene thing is one of the things that I people will blame everything, the time, yet you're on social media all day, the genes, yet you
Mm-hmm.
had not anything, about. So it's important to take accountability of like, what am I really not doing first before you blame the genes, the time, the gym, that membership that you don't have, because those are all excuses. I've
Wow.
trained, I mean, coached a lot of women who don't even have a gym membership, and I'll get into that. Why I say without working out, because people put so much focus on the gym, but that's not what's going to move the dial. Just focus on your food and habits. You can lose weight without going to the gym. And then some women over time are like, I want to incorporate the two, it's going to be faster. But
Yeah.
if you don't focus on your food first and habits, you're wasting time going to the gym. And we've seen a lot of people coming to the gym each day, clocking in and out, you know, and it's the same weight, right? So yeah.
Wow. Like, what are some of the challenges? Like, maybe someone is about to enter the weight loss kind of journey. What challenges do they really kind of like face? And is it something that can be avoided, or it could lead to a permanent thing?
So yeah, so what I usually ask women before I work with them is that, what phase are you in your life? Are you in an emotionally, sometimes you're going through so much in life that you're stress
Mm-hmm.
eating, whereby food is your coping mechanism. And when I think you talked about me saying a lot of times women, we eat our emotions. I keep referring to women because I only work with women. So we eat our emotions. You're feeling frustrated, you're like, oh my God, that bag of chips. The thing is that when we are stressed, we crave either oily, crunchy, or salty. There's never a day you'll be stressed and I'm like, "Ah, I want chicken." No, it's always something that you crunch on, right? It's always something to let your emotions out. So, first of all, a lot that I see when someone's going to join a weight loss journey is, where are you in life? Are you going through probably a breakup and you're just emotionally down? Do you need a therapist
Mm-hmm.
first before starting a weight loss journey? Or are you in a phase of, I'm kind of in a good place I have, because mentally I'm asking you to change your behaviors. And usually the first 3 weeks can be tough because you're changing your behaviors. It's not,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not, weight loss is not, it's simple, but it takes work. So it takes you basically adapting habits, and it takes about 21 days for your body to be like, okay, I'm changing it. Instead of each morning waking up eating a bag of fries or eating whatever comes to mind, you're slowly. So it's gonna be hard if every time you're going to reach for whatever you used to. You're like, oh, okay, I need to. That's the work. It's hard to make
Yes.
change. It's hard to change habits. So that's the first thing: is, at what point of your life are you? Do you need therapy? Do you need a weight loss coach? Do you need support system, right? Meaning, are you going through something very challenging? So one is stress eating, and then number two that I see a lot, people just want what reduce. Like, my husband likes my booty. I just want to keep this. So when you're starting a weight loss journey, just know everything will reduce. So be ready for everything to reduce. If you want
Oh
that
my
booty,
God.
tone it back up. You can shape your body to whatever you want to. But I get a lot of women like, oh, I don't want to touch that booty. Like, hubby likes it, or I don't want to touch this area. No, that's not how it works. It's not like a manufacturing shop where you're like, okay, reduce this to size, whatever. The goal is first lose weight, right?
Yeah.
First lose the weight, then you start to tone. That happened with me. At first, I was like so tiny, but now I've started to do more weights to buff up, to tone, right? To tone my body. And I think so many people come in with that focus of like, if I can only reduce my tummy, or if I can only reduce this, and they it takes away from the bigger goal of healthy. Are you healthy? Are you learning habits for life? Are you really using things that you're going to use, even after the 12 weeks of working with me? I want to see women a year or two later, and I have a lot of ladies come back to me and they're like, oh my God, the things you told me, I'm still doing. And that is what I want you
Wow.
to get out of experience.
Yeah.
That is why it's like habits, if you nail your habits, they become part of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the major things that I would say. And three, looking at people are impatient. It took you 9 years or 10 years of you or whatever years for you to put on the weight. They're like, tell me, is it in 2 weeks? I'm like,
It doesn't work like that. No.
this is not Amazon. This is not Amazon Prime. Like next day I'll get the weight off, right? It takes time. It took you time to get on the weight. It will take you time to take it off. So be patient, pace yourself. There'll be times when it's frustrating. Use those as lessons. There'll be time when you're just like, oh, I did this and I see the scale is going, south. I know what I did. But people are so fast, like, oh my God, when am I gonna get results? And immediately I usually say by week one you start losing weight, but 6 to 8 weeks is when people start seeing the changes. Then by 12 weeks,
Yeah.
you really start to make a difference. And of course, if you continue to do the same things, you can only get better from there. But those are the things that I look out for when I'm talking to someone. Is there stress eating? Are they looking to spot reduce, right? And is there patience? Are they being realistic? And also not making excuses. Most people, I don't have time. I don't have time. But you have time to shop. You have time for Netflix time. But just because you don't look at this, your health is your wealth. So you have to be
Yeah.
ready to prioritize the time.
That's
We
true.
all make time for what's important to us. So yeah, those
That's
are the
true.
things I can write.
Wow, a lot of knowledge. Like, in as much as discipline is very important, how about mindset? Because I know a salesman will tell me, have a positive mindset. A coach will tell me,
Mm.
have a positive mindset. This one will tell me, your mindset is everything, this, that, that. Like, how do mindsets really affect our weight loss journey?
Mindset is powerful in anything, in your career,
Hmm.
in business,
Mm-hmm.
in weight loss. You find the same two clients I'm working with, and someone will get results in 6 weeks, and someone will still be like, which I've got probably two ladies I've had to let go because they were just, I don't want to waste time. I take this seriously. But what I'm trying to say is that mindset is everything in what you do. With weight loss, it's the patience I was talking about. It's being realistic of like it's taking you time to learn new habits. It's
Mm-hmm.
being open-minded. Some people come in like, hey, I only do the carnivore diet. I'm like, keep on moving to the carnivore diet. I don't do that because to me, it's like we have a lot of food. I'm gonna wake up. You can't do carnivore diet for next 10 years. I want to wake up and say, today, if I want potatoes, I'll eat. Today, if I want rice, I'll eat it. Like I train you on local foods, on normal foods, right? So mindset is everything. But because mindset is a word that's thrown around a lot, I don't want to just be like, oh, just come with the right mindset. I'm just like, be coachable, be open minded, and be patient because it took you time to put on the weight. You have some habits that you may not even know because as I'm working with you as a coach, I'm like, hey, every time you sleep at 11 p.m., why? Like maybe you sleep at midnight. Because trust me, I go to bed at a specific time for a reason. 10 p.m. you will not find me up because for some reason at 11 I start to get hungry and then you're in the fridge and then you're eating crap and then it's just like it's and so those are some small things that you may not even have realized like why am I up till midnight? Then the fridge starts sometimes you open the fridge door and there's still nothing, then you come back again 12 or 9, then you end up eating something. And then wake up in the morning, you're so hungry because most times when you eat into the late of the night, for some reason you like. So it's all these small habits that are keeping you are not successful, that it takes time. So mindset is key in those areas, in relation to being coachable, being realistic, and also being patient. Because there's so many days people come with like, oh, I had about this and this, and I had this, and I had, and then it's like it's just so much, and you'd think people would be all healthy, but it's too much. It's too confusing. Caloric deficit. Eat this. Don't eat that. Do this. Don't do that. West trainer. Not apple cider vinegar. People have all this stuff, and I'm like, how are you even going to get success if you're so confused? There's so
Mm-hmm.
much. You just have to stick to something that works with you. And for me, it's the natural way. I coach how I lost weight. So that's simple. I didn't use supplements, diet, whatever, teas, all these things that are so confusing and may lead you nowhere but just in a circle, right? So,
Yeah. Yeah. Someone actually said, because I was just checking, someone said if you, for example, you were eating some certain food and at some point you stopped eating those set of things that made you lose weight, that you're gonna gain extra. Is it a
mm,
myth or it's true?
so the only thing I can say is that that's related to that is that most people think losing weight is kind of like, oh, it's just 12 weeks. I change what I eat and then I'm good. It's a lifestyle. What you did to lose the weight is what you need to do to keep off the weight. You can't just be like, oh, July 31st. Okay, maybe now what? It's September 1st. I'm going to be doing this for the next till November 31st. Then I go back to no. The whole idea of healthy lifestyle is because the things that you're learning are things that you should be embodying for life. It's not going to
Yeah.
be, and again, that's why even on my program, I teach you how to eat while you're traveling, how to
Mm-hmm.
eat while you're at a party, how to eat
Mm-hmm.
while you're hosting people at home, because that's life. You're not going to always be in your house, in your office, or how to eat at work, right? All these are different scenarios that happen to us every day. And then you find yourself at a party, you're like, oh, I only see all these heavy loaded things. How do I do this? Or you're ordering some drinks and you're like, oh, my God, like, how am I going to do? All these things is part of life. And so there's nothing that you stop. The things that you're learning, you have to continue doing. There's some things that, and I
Yes.
give ladies 12 weeks because they're each the first 8 weeks I'm telling you to eat differently. So there's some things where you're like, oh, I didn't like week 3, but I liked week 5. So I'm asking you to pick things you like because what has helped me stick with losing the weight and keeping it off is because I enjoy it. I have something
Yeah.
called the blueprint, right? If it's not easy and enjoyable, it's not going to be effective. So
Mm-hmm.
it has to be easy for you. It has to come enjoyable, and that's the only way to be effective and sustainable long term. If any of those are
Wow.
missing, you're finding it like, oh my God, I have to. Of course, yeah, we have some days where you're like, what's for lunch? But it shouldn't be to a point of like, I'm not even enjoying my food. I enjoy my food. I love food, and that is why I take so much care in putting effort in eating right, right? So yeah.
Wow. Like you've really said a lot of insightful things. And to you, my viewer, I hope you are getting value from this. Don't forget to like this video and share with all your friends, family, and everyone around you, and including yourself. This is something you need to put into practice and start your journey. So you talked about your programs. Can you tell us more about it? Like everything.
Everything about it. So my program is called Get Your Sexy Back. And I say that because a lot of women,
Oh.
you get up one day and just look at yourself in the mirror and say, how did I become this woman? Right? You used to put on those little clothes, you used to like your body, and then you wake up and you don't even want to look in the mirror. And one of
Hmm.
the things I hear the most when ladies come on the call, I don't like the way I look in my clothes. That's almost like every call I'm on. And so it is about getting your sexy back. And it's a 12-week program, right? The fundamentals are really three things. I'm working with you on your food, on your habits, and sustainability. And how that works is For the first one-on-one meeting, I do a meal plan for you. So I meet with you to understand your day and I craft a meal plan for you because I believe everyone is different. I have
Yeah.
nurses who work night. I have so basically their day starts like maybe at 1 because they slept in the morning. I have 9 to 5 corporate women. I have small business owners who they are the CEO, they are open the shop and close it. So I have to understand you, that I craft something that works with your lifestyle. And I find that that is so key once the women I work with start to understand, like, oh, now in the morning I can eat this. During, I can have this for a snack. During dinner, I can eat this. We talk options because some people are allergic to stuff. And that is the most crucial part. That's a one-on-one with me. And then I introduce you to the group, right? The group has a group of women on the same journey. So every week during the 12 weeks, you have an online portal. And each week I'm sharing, uh, this week one, we may say portions. Week two, we may do how to set up your spaces for weight loss success. So each week I have a topic and I'm giving you assignments. And we meet as a group every Friday. There I get to hear what's going on with you. You get to hear other women on the journey, and it's very motivating to see women winning.
Yeah.
So there are three touch points. You have me for the first meeting one-on-one. There's a group, but also there's a Facebook group. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a group on Friday, but there's also a Facebook group. So the intent is for me to see your food. It's not about you telling me, oh, I ate this. You take a picture, you put your food in there. Every Friday you step on the scale and you weigh in. So I'm doing all this because of accountability. It's not just,
Yes.
it's important to me. I want you to see results. And that's what makes me happy at the end of the day as a coach. So we are mainly tackling the food. And then we start to list, in our first meeting, we list out your habits. And during the 12 weeks, I'm looking at your habits. So the first 8 weeks, we're focusing on the food. By the eighth week, you're comfortable with the food. You continue with your habits. And by 12 weeks, I get a lot of women losing 20 plus pounds. And from
Wow.
then, you're really unstoppable. Most women, when they are done working with me, they don't need me. And that's the intent because they have their habits, they know what to eat, they're good. Life happens. Sometimes you may get a child or whatever and add weight, but they know what to do, right?
Yes.
So that is basically it. I have a lot of ladies now on my group who just stay on for they have the accountability, but they are women who have worked with me a year or so ago. They just love the community. The more you hear it, the more you live it, right? So
Yeah.
that's a little bit about my group program. Like I said, it's very simple, but it can be it takes time. It can be challenging in the first 3 weeks because it takes time, it takes effort, it takes patience. And
Mm-hmm.
I really, when I'm talking to a lot of women, I'm trying to judge, are you someone who likes to do the work or are you an excuse person? Because I don't want to work with someone who is just going to be like, I can't do this, I don't know this. I take health very seriously. And the women that I've worked with and succeeded, they know they're ready to do the work. They need guidance. And
Yeah.
I can tell they're ready to roll. So
How about women of other races or maybe other people
yeah,
of color and the rest?
so I deal with any woman. So I worked with Asians, I worked with white women, I worked with African diaspora. It's quite a huge African diaspora is like a lot of women who come from Africa and are in
Yeah.
the diaspora, UK, US. And I think because that's who I am, sometimes you attract who you are. But I've worked with women of all races.
Yeah.
Of course, the only exemptions are if you're pregnant or if you're on steroids for any reason. Some people are on steroids like for medication and they mess around with your hormones. I'm not able to work with you. So I try to understand the medication you're on because some medication by default makes you gain weight,
Mm-hmm.
and so we
Yes.
can't fight hormones, right? So those are things that are important to me to understand before we work together.
Hmm. Okay. Thank you so, so, so much for this. And I literally, for me, I had a very interesting time talking to you. Like everything you said Well, I'm guilty of some. I'm guilty of the late night snacks and but I feel like it's something I need to because I'm like I was 8. I was size 8 before. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally transitioning into size 10. I'm like I want to
Mm-hmm.
maintain the size 10. I want to just be size
Right.
10 because no. So, thank you so much for this. I appreciate you for coming. And to my viewers, I want you to join this program. If you're a woman, or maybe you have a friend, you have a sister, this is a program that will give you the result. I've worked with her and I know what is there. Like I know every single thing. So I want you to connect with her. I'm going to link all her social media, website, and everything in the video description so you can connect, follow, and message her. Maybe if you have further questions, I'm very sure she would respond and attend to your questions. So Bbira, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I had a good time with you today.
Thank you. And one thing I'll say as women is we always put ourselves last. Weight
Mm,
loss will change how you feel about yourself. It will change how you feel at your job and will grow your confidence. I've seen women just be able to own who they are because it's like you've lost the emotional baggage, right? And
it's
even
true.
for even when you feel like, oh, I'm so small, just don't get too comfortable because
Yeah.
bearing changes women. A lot of women who come to me are like, I got pregnant, I don't even know who I am anymore, right? And so knowing this information, knowing that your food is key, knowing that your habit is key, this is life information because you could use it later. You may not need it now, but
Yeah.
weight just grows slowly. And most times when you wake up, it's too late. I mean, when you realize it, it's like either 30 pounds or you're on medication. A lot of women are on medication. I listen to a lot of women where they're prisoners in their body because of weight. So don't let
Yeah.
it get to that because when it gets to that, it's an emergency.
Mm,
I have women who are on 12 medications. They can't sleep. They can't. They're in high blood pressure. They're on high cholesterol, and you don't know what that medication is doing to you.
wow.
To other organs of the body. So treat your body like a temple. They tell us a lot of women we take on a lot, and stress eating is the biggest thing we deal with. So find outlets for your stress, find a support system, whether it's working with me or whoever you want to work with for guidance. In the world of coaches get you from point A to B very fast, right? And a lot of people try to do this on their own and get frustrated. And some ladies come to me when it's a little late. They're on medication or they're scheduled for surgery, right? Weight loss surgery. Some of them have had. So all I can say is your health is your wealth, and put you first as a woman. We deserve
Yes.
to be there for our children, for our loved ones, right? For our spouses, or whoever it is that is in your life. Yeah, that's all I'll
Wow.
say today. Thank
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
you.
And
You're welcome.
don't forget to subscribe to this channel because next time any other day I can just call her to have a chat some other time
Sure.
and send I was gonna say you should make sure you connect with her because I feel like one of the problems that you have, or maybe someone else around you have, is like, I'm going to do it later, or it's not really important until it gets deep or it gets worse. That is when you now start coming, can I lose? Maybe you have a wedding to plan, or you have something very important to do in the next 2 months, and you're like, okay, I want to do it in 1 month. Like, you have to follow through the processes. So, and I know she's going to take you through this process. So,
Right.
on this note, I hope to see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share with all your friends. They need to hear this, trust me. So thank you so much and have a good day.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.